blind man is still there. Every day, all day, he sits on a crate outside Shuangjing subway station here in Beijing, playing his instrument, begging for money. He has a metal cup in front of him so he can hear any coins that are dropped in. See, I never liked this instrument he's playing, the erhu, the Chinese fiddle. I know it's a symbol of China. I know it's part of our heritage. And by our heritage, I mean literally my family's. See, my Chinese surname is Hu, so the erhu is named after us. I should feel this sound in my bones. It should speak to me on a deep spiritual level. My ancestors calling me. But it doesn't. If you don't know what an erhu sounds like, picture a movie with a scene set in China. You know, mist rising over the bamboo groves, that sort of thing. Now that noise you hear on the soundtrack, like a violin, but sad and scratchy. That's the erhu. For some reason, I can't stand that sound, even when it's played well. And definitely when it's played by the blind man with a broken instrument, scraping away at the same few notes again and again, every time I walk past him, every day. By now it just blends into the background. Maybe after 6 months of living here, I don't really notice it anymore. Perhaps I've become numb to all the things that seemed so amazing when I first moved to China. The sounds, the smells, the smog. Being surrounded by people who look like me. See, growing up in England, I clearly remember the first time I learned I looked different from the other kids. A boy at school called me Bruce Lee. The other kids shouted Chinese and made kung fu noises. Hi-ya! I remember going home and asking my mother, what is Chinese? Am I Chinese? What must that be like for a parent? Your 6-year-old child asking you, what is Chinese? Years later, here I am in China, trying to answer that question. Last month, I visited Moyen in the south, and that's a village my grandfather's from, except Moyen's not a village anymore. It's grown into a city of 4 million people. I wanted to find our village. All I had was a picture of my grandfather as a boy outside the village hall. Now, he told me that on the walls of that hall, there were photographs of the eldest son of each generation of our family. And that old Chinese saying written at the top, no ancestors, no identity. I love that idea, being able to see all those faces, each one part of a chain in history, leading to me, to this face. So I wandered around the city, asking about the village hall. And people laughed at me, especially when I talked so they could hear I'm not Chinese. Well, not really Chinese. But eventually I tracked down the exact location and the hall's gone. Completely gone. Knocked down as the village became a town and the town became a city. The village hall, my family's village hall, is now just another lane in the highway. Progress. I had this naive idea that I'd come to China and it would feel like going home. I even brought along a framed picture of myself to hang up in the hall. No. Here I am, back in Beijing, barely noticing the blind man playing every day. Except for today. Today, something happened. I come out of the subway station. I walk past a blind man still playing those same few notes. I'm hurrying home to avoid the rain, and I make it home just in time, and I mean just in time. The heavens open. It's one of these dynamic explosions of rain I've only ever seen here in Asia. Within seconds, streams are pouring down the roads and flooding the drains. From inside my apartment, I can hear the rain battering the street outside, and I suddenly notice I don't know how, but I can still clearly hear one sound above it all. Yahoo! I look outside, but one of the busiest streets in Beijing emptied in seconds by the cascades from the sky. Except the blind man. He's still there, still playing, still audible somehow. And his face has changed. It's normally completely blank, but now his eyes are wide open, flooded and alive. A young girl on her own runs down the street. She hears the ahu and stops to listen, suddenly oblivious to the storm. She laughs and starts to dance, spinning in wide circles. Slowly at first, and then faster, enraptured, caught by the spirit of the music. And as she speeds up, he does too. She opens her arms and looks up at the sky, mouth wide open in wonder and delight. And to my ears too, the sound is suddenly transformed. The rain fades into the background. I can still hear the ahu, but it's changed. I hear a voice, many voices, singing, soaring. It's my ancestors calling to me, telling me it's going to be okay. And suddenly I know as a blind man plays that this is why I came here. This is what I wanted to feel, this connection, this coming home. I'm home. At last, I finally found home. And the music stops. I see the only two people still out there on the street. The young girl and the blind man, drenched and baptized, but their spirits entwined. Still smiling, the young girl walks up to the blind man. He lays down the ahu. She crouches as if going to hug him. And she reaches down, picks up his cup of coins, and walks away. The blind man stays there motionless. He must have heard her. He must know what she's just done to him. But his smile stays in place, his eyes wide open in the rain, touched by something. From my window, I watch as the rain stops. I watch as the blind man sits in silence, his ahu finally quiet, after hours, days, maybe even years of playing. And I've never felt further from home.